Hello, fellow weebs and otakus, an episode of Anime Fix, where your fix for all things anime. I'm Chase.
And I'm Lance.
Hi, Lance.
Hello, Chase. We're back for episode 2.
Episode 2 for 2025.
Right.
It's funny because I was talking to you, this morning about
Mhm.
it's been like the last episode that we did upload. It was a year exactly almost between the last one and this one.
Yeah.
It was it's crazy, man. Like we're back on it. We're good. We're doing well
Yeah.
so far. See how long this lasts.
Oh well, I'll be calling you every morning,
Daily.
daily,
I was
and
happy
saying,
you. I was happy you slept in a little bit.
"Oh yeah, that's unusual."
You're tired. Catching up on my dress up, darling. Right?
Yeah. So yeah, we are going to talk about my dress up, darling, which
Yeah.
I stumbled on. It wasn't even like a rip. I was just going through Crunchyroll. I was like, well, I'm caught up on B stars, which we will talk about. We will talk about, and you will watch.
It's fine. I'll watch it.
And I was like, well, I'm looking for the next thing. I saw My Dress Up Darling. I was like, oh, okay. Just launched a season 2 recently.
Yeah.
Looks kind of neat. I hit play. And I watched the first episode and I texted you. I said, have you seen this? And you're like, oh my God, that's you and your wife both were like, this is one of our favorites.
It is. I'll tell you what, man. Like, I love just scrolling through like Crunchyroll or like Netflix or whatever streaming platform and finding anime and just giving it a shot. And it
Mhm.
like, and it turns out to be like peak. It really depends. Like it's a 50-50 typically. But I enjoy like nothing hits more than like a single season of a 12 episode like romance anime that kind of bundles it up because like I'm worried sometimes with a single season 12 episode anime that it's just going to stop there if it ends on a cliffhanger and I'm just like waiting for like 10 or 15 years or forever because they're never going to do a second season.
Yeah, this one did a really good. I was wondering how they were going to end it. And it did a really good job of or tying the knot in the sense so that way if a second season never got launched,
Yeah, that's
you
very
would
very true.
genuinely be, I think, satisfied with the outcome.
Yeah, I think so too. Because how long is this first and second season apart from each other?
That's a good question. I think definitely a few years. But
Yeah, 2022 is when it came out.
yeah,
So 3 years. That's kind of long, honestly. So I'm assuming that's why they did button up a little bit in the first season just in case. But it was already like received well, so I assumed it was going to get a second season.
maybe that maybe that means there's hope for romantic killers.
Maybe Rent Killer is great. We were looking at that last night.
And really, really good. I love romantic killers. But that's not what we're talking about.
Nope.
My dress
So
up
so what do you,
Starlight.
so what do you think about My Dress Darling? Like, did the first episode hook you, or was it other
Yeah.
ones?
No, the very first episode. I loved um God, so it's all sort of bundled together now, so I'm not really sure like where one episode begins and ends because I just kept watching. But I love the idea of the main character walking on, he's got this one hobby, this one interest, and he's just super obsessed with it, super obsessed with being good at it. And then but because of that, he has no friends, no social life, Really no other hobbies, no other, he goes to school. Honestly, this is you're looking at you're looking at my life before I met Tori, or a section of my life before I met Tori.
Really?
That's all I did is, now I won't say I was as bad as him because I did have people I talked but yeah, I did the same thing, like education, job, work, gym, sleep, rinse and repeat. That was my routine. Anyway,
Yeah. That was my routine
we
too
hit
before
huh?
that was my routine too before I met Obs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
And then he meets this girl who
yep.
right off the bat is like, yeah, we get introduced to a scene. We meet her earlier than this, but there is a scene that comes up where I guess they have cleanup duty where they're supposed to like certain students stay behind to like clean up the classroom.
Yep. Forced
And
proximity.
huh?
Forced proximity. Like
Yeah.
you always like make a connection or like get to know someone better because you're forced to be in the same like area.
Yep. And so the two of the dudes that were supposed to be helping walking out were like, "Hey, I'm gonna be late for work. Can you like cover us?" And he's like, "Yeah, I guess." I'm like, "Thanks." They're like, "Thanks, bro. You're a good friend." They're like,
Yeah.
they just ditched him, right?
Yeah. Taking advantage of
And
'em.
then she comes in there and goes, "Don't you ever do that." She
Yeah.
says, like,
Stand up for
"They're not your
yourself.
friend. Yeah, stand up for yourself. I'm gonna bully you into standing up for yourself." Um, and so like, there's this instant, we see that she's a genuine person, even though she's like one of the hottest girls in school. Is super popular.
Yep.
Right off the bat, we already know that she's a genuine. Doesn't matter who you are,
Yeah.
she's genuine with who she is. And
Yeah.
so,
The main theme I think of this episode, the first episode, is that classic anime trope of someone who lives in the exact opposite world as me, right?
yeah,
Like, which typically is what starts these like romance animes, right? Where the guy or the girl thinks like they're complete opposite world of me. How can I ever like get to know this person better or whatever? And then I'll let you explain the rest of like them talking in that one scene.
yeah. So she just tells him to stand up for himself, and and he's sort of like taken back, like, "Oh wow, she's." I don't remember what his exact reaction was, but it was kind of like he. I think it was the first, first crack in him, not being, I think, as intimidated by her or as scared of her because she talked to him and she was concerned about him
Yeah,
versus
because
just sort of awkward passing each other in the hallway.
yeah, because was Gojo using the sewing machine and she like saw him using
No,
that? No?
that was after this moment.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, that was the I remember because that was the end. I think that was the end of the first episode
Mm,
because his sewing machine at home that he uses to make the so he's a doll craft. He's an aspiring doll crafter.
Hina
And
doll.
he's
Yeah, Hina dolls.
in dolls. And I want to pause real quick. I'm not sure. Like, there's a moment where he has this flashback of this little girl like yelling at him because he's into Hina
Yeah.
dolls,
hmm
and I'm like, was he playing with Hina dolls or was he like, I don't know,
He's
but that
I think he was talking about Hina dolls and like his fascination with it and like trying to convey to her like why like he thought it was super cool that like they were able to like craft these and like make them so pretty, right? And I think she was just like, ew.
yeah,
What are you doing?
which
That's gross. Which like they're kids, right?
yeah, well, I probably would have as a child, I probably would have slapped her and said,
I mean, you hate kids, so even when
I
you're a
hated
kid,
kids.
you hate
Yeah,
kids.
God, you guys are so all you are so pedestrian. I'm sitting
Pedestrian.
around. I'm 7 years old calling other children pedestrian. Anyway,
Yeah.
um, yeah, that really irked me. Not from a story perspective, but just like that existed. And kind
Yeah.
of to that Kitiwana or Kitigana, is that her name? Kitiwana?
Who?
What's her name? Her name
Kitagawa.
is Kitigawa, yeah.
Yeah.
Marine
Marine Kitagawa.
Marina Kitigawa. And he is walking a gojo and Kitigawa.
Yep.
And which I kind of like Kitigawa, she has a line earlier on, which is like making fun of people for what they're into is not hot.
Yeah. I like that.
I I vibe with that so hard. Like I
100%.
same, yeah. But anyway, so moving on, he's a doll crafter, and the sewing machine he uses at home broke. And so he lives with his grandpa, and his grandpa's like, I have to go out and buy a new sewing machine. And then while he's waiting, he's like, oh, you know what? We have a sewing machine. There's no sewing club or arts and crafts club. I can use these in private at
Yeah.
school. And he's in there, he's sewing, he's like, man, this is so easy. And then, wouldn't you know it, our other
Wouldn't you know it?
protagonist, Kitigawa, walked in and she sees him and he's like, oh my God, this girl sees me sewing. But her reaction wasn't of disgust. It was like, oh my God, you know how to sew?
Yep.
And
Intrigued.
she instantly draws him in. It's like, can you take a look at this and give me, feedback?
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, that's
Yeah.
how
That's the beginning
we're
part
the
of it.
jumping off point.
Yeah. I might add a horrendous attempt of making that costume by her.
And truth and in truth, I thought the same thing. Like in the same moment when she hands him, she has this book, How to Get Started with Cosplaying. And he's reading this, like, oh, it covers this, oh, it covers this, oh, it covers this, and he goes, and they both, and I in the same moment was like, you had all this detail, and you still did this shit job on your
Yeah.
first attempt.
Yeah. One thing I would do want to ask you is like Kitagawa, right, is not shy about talking about the things that she likes and her interests, right? Like she's really big into anime and manga, um, which now is more mainstream, right? It's more like normies, call them normies, are more receptive and like actually watch it themselves, right? But back in the day, it was kind of weird to watch anime because they couldn't like normies couldn't distinguish between anime and like hentai, right? So they had like a one track mind. Do you think if Kitagawa wasn't as popular or pretty as she is, she would um get the same amount of feedback, or do you think like she'd get more ridicule because of her likes?
Ooh, good question. I guess it depends on when the show takes place. Because
Yeah,
even though
that's
it's
true.
a recent anime, that doesn't mean it, present day. My answer is I'm gonna say because she's attractive, people are
Yeah,
more receptive to it.
I would say that too.
Because even if it's more modern, um, like even if it's present day and it's more popular, the anime and the games and the manga she reads are still kind of weird.
Yeah,
And so, I think even in present day, if you were to like tell someone, "Hey, I'm watching this or I'm reading this," they would still look at you like even an anime fan might go like, "Oh, you're reading that? You're watching that?" You might still get judged. So,
yeah,
unless you're unbelievably uh, good looking, and then in which case they might still think, "I can't believe you're watching this," but they wouldn't judge you as harshly.
yeah, yeah. I would also agree with that as well. But that being said, anyone that's listening to this, like 3 or 4 people, appreciate you, by the way. Uh, I would also,
The 3 or 4 that stuck around for a year.
yeah, I appreciate you guys, or like the newer ones that like. got lucky enough to start this like last year and got through 94 episodes, and now you're listening to this one that just came out. Um,
Yeah.
I would also say don't be afraid to like what you like, and don't be afraid to tell people. Um, don't let that determine what you like and dislike. Be confident in yourself, and that's easier said than done. I remember being in high school and being like, oh, I can't tell people that I like anime, or like I can't, like, I got to make sure that you know I'm liking what everyone else likes. Live for yourself and enjoy what you enjoy. Just PSA.
Well said.
Yeah. um Going further, right, like, so Gojo is helping Kitagawa make this outfit for her big Comic Con event or whatever event it is, right? Her
It was
first
just a
debut.
cosplay event. It wasn't, I don't think it was actually, well, we don't know, but I don't
I have
think
no idea.
it seemed like it was just a cosplay event. It wasn't like anything else going on.
Yeah. Um, and Gojo's having a hard time, right? Because it's his first time doing this. And then his grandpa, gets hurt. So like he has a lot of like mounting pressure overall. Um, how do you feel about like him taking on that work as well as his Hina doll work, and then his grandpa gets injured? Like, that's a lot. I don't know if I can do all that.
I wouldn't have been able to do it. I would have something would have given. I would have straight up said like, this isn't getting done in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Which we find out she had no intention. She just picked a random date like that. She looked like, oh, this is the next event. She had no expectations of it being done in
Yeah.
2 weeks. So the fact that he still pulled it off, damn, that's
Yeah.
impressive.
It's very impressive, and like,
And I want to point out that when she realized that he misunderstood her intent of saying like 2 weeks,
mhm,
uh, she apologized deeply.
yeah.
She felt terrible. She's like, "Oh my God, we had midterms. You had your grandpa's business. You had this. All the other crap going on. Grandpa in the hospital. Um, she felt terrible that he
Yeah.
did all that and still managed to get her cosplay done by the deadline that didn't even really matter.
Yeah.
So
Communication is key in everything.
yeah, but like even then, like I think that really shows that's a good. They could have easily just played her off as this dopey girl who's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you got it done, yay!" Like just made her so unempathetic about it, and could have easily done that because we see plenty of other situations where she gets freaked out and everyone around her goes like, "That's what you're worried about." Not this
Yeah.
other obvious thing, but this, you know, little thing. Could have easily
Yeah.
done that, but they took the time to portray her as like she is self-aware,
Yeah.
you know, and knew and recognized how wrong that was, even if it wasn't intended. She understood the effect it had
Yeah. And
on
I
on
think
people.
I also think that's why um, I like Kitagawa as a character, right? She's not just using Gojo to build her cosplays. Like, she actually cares and is understanding, which like it could have been like a complete opposite effect for me, if she was like didn't acknowledge that, wasn't self-aware and just using him. Um, but I think that's twofold, with Kitagawa helping Gojo get out of his comfort zone and talk to more people, and not, and like actually have experiences, right, in high school. Like, he's so focused on being in his shell and his world of building Hina dolls that he is missing out on some human interaction,
Yeah.
of with peers his own age, right? So um, I like
And
that Kitagawa was helping
I
with that.
I probably, if that didn't happen, I probably would have stopped watching because to me that I don't think the payoff like if they were really going to contrast their relationship that severely,
Yeah.
right? The journey of getting to because I mean, well, I mean, I don't know, but I would presume that the idea is that they're opposite worlds, opposite personalities, and eventually they come together and like the relationship sort of joins at the hip, where they sort of merge interests, merge characteristics, all that stuff. I don't think that payoff would have been worth watching them starting at a net negative
Yeah.
of her just absolutely not giving a shit how
Yeah.
stressed he was and him so desperate for human interaction that he's willing to put up with that sort of like relationship. Like that just wouldn't have everything in between would have not been appealing to get to the final goal. So I would have stopped.
Yeah.
Um,
I agree with that as well. Um, yeah. The and then like it's crazy because they're so attached to Hip, and then like she is so awestruck, I guess is the word I'll use, but that of Gojo's ability to put everyone before himself, and also
mhm.
his ability to make these, cosplays that, for that first event, they go and do all that, and then I don't. Is it close afterwards that she starts to actually fall for him?
um, I think the first time, ooh, I think the first time that she really starts to, or at least she explicitly, I think there was one moment.
There's a big scene where she's like cursing a bunch, and then her like heart explodes or whatever. Like there's a big scene about that, I think, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember because there's a couple of like earlier moments where you kind of see it sort of see the same sort of shyness, like her blushing. I think one of them is when they're crafting the cosplay, and it's just so funny how the things that make Gojo uncomfortable, and the things that make Kitagawa like Gojo's like coming in, he's all cool and smooth. He's like, yeah, I'm a professional, and then that's what makes her those moments are when she's really like awkward and shy, and then it's sort of the inverse. Like, but the real first scene that where we hear her say, "I can't believe I'm getting into the guy who is besties with his grandpa," is when they're talking about her first cosplay, and he's like, "Oh man, you made this? This is really amazing." And he's like, "Yeah, I kind of messed up here and here and here." And he goes, "Oh, I can see that, but like this is still really, really, really good."
Yeah.
And she's just sitting back, just like, "Oh my God, I'm into the guy who I can't believe I'm into Gojo like this. Like
Yeah.
what's going on with me?"
I
There is,
I
I
think
think, an earlier moment where they're on the train
oh yeah.
and he's like really tired. I think it might have been after. I think actually it was right after the cosplay. They were heading home, and he said, "You were really beautiful." And in an
Yeah.
earlier scene, he basically goes, "I don't say things are beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm hardcore about when I use the word
Beautiful.
beautiful."
Hmm.
And then he calls her beautiful, and he's like, he flashes back to that, and he goes, "Oh my gosh, you know, he saw me in
Yeah,
such a unique way."
for sure. And then that scene I'm talking about is where like I think it's when his grandpa and him are talking about the outfit that he made, and then in the PG term words, she's like crap, 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 crap. Holy crap!
Yeah.
Yeah,
I I love when she's over there eating dinner and she's talking about how she cooks for herself and she
yeah,
shows pictures of of the rice and wieners and
Yep.
and they're like, and it was earlier when she's telling Gojo, it's like, I don't know how to sew and cosplay, but I can cook and clean. And
Yeah.
he's thinking like, can you cook?
Can you cook? Are you sure? It's all fried.
Um, but and how the grandpa is just like, oh, I think you should come over here and have dinner with us every night.
Yeah. Yeah, you need a healthy diet, not this
Yeah.
diet. Yeah.
Uh,
Then we start getting introduced to, is it Kirigawa's friends or it's just people that they met at the cosplay event? Like for the hospital
so
like
really the
function.
people that we're getting introduced to, because we've met a couple of her friends as they were
Mhm.
just like passing by and they were like, wow, Kitagawa is dating that loser. Or
Yeah.
or well, I don't know if that was her friend. I think it was somebody else, like but one of her friends like, Kitagawa, are you messing with him? He's clearly uncomfortable right now. And it's like, oh no,
Yeah.
he's always like this. It's just
He's always like this. This is normal.
yeah. Um no, the people we really are introduced to are um Juju and Juju's
Juju.
sister.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Because they so Juju, who's a big cosplayer, um, was awestruck and jealous of Kitagawa's costume,
That's right. Yeah. Hmm.
and she's like, I have to know who made this.
Yeah.
And um, so we got introduced to her, and then we through that we got introduced to her sister, who the absurd I don't know the fact that her sister isn't so like we find out they think oh she's in middle school I think and she's actually like older and getting ready to graduate high school or whatever.
Yeah.
She's like this little, looks like like a little pixie child, but her younger sister definitely doesn't look
Yeah.
like she's younger. Um, so yeah, that threw me off. I was like, I okay, they're I get that it's trying to really contrast the difference through the detail, but like, come on, you could have made it a little bit
Yeah.
a little bit less obvious.
Yeah.
But that probably wouldn't have been as comical.
For sure.
Shoot.
Yeah. For me, like that was not like, obviously it made sense like in the anime, but that's probably one of the things I forgot about the most. Trying to remember like the anime because I watched it like years ago, like 2023, 2022, right? So, um, but that was that arc or like scenes were not throwaway for me, but like not as memorable. I would say I like the dynamic between Kitagawa and Gojo and like watching that more.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It did feel like I don't want to say filler, 'cause it did serve a purpose. It put Kigawa and Gojo's relationship through the lens of being around other people, like how other people perceive them and see them, and experience a shared interest with them. But it it kind of just disappeared. I think they introduced them and then they kind of just go away. And they explain it by saying like, "Oh man, that was exhausting. I'm not used to being around so many other people." And so they sort of like use that as sort of like the out to why she's not going to be around. I'm assuming in
Yeah,
season two, we'll definitely see them back. But I feel like it would have been not you wouldn't have seen it in a certain way if they were sort of appended onto the larger group and they're just going and hanging out.
yeah,
Um, Also, props on the beach episode and the festival episode
Always gotta be one.
being
One of
yeah,
each.
being pretty much at the very end.
Yeah.
Um, um,
The
what was your go ahead.
good. There you go. You're good.
I was gonna say, what was your thoughts on Kitagawa saying "I love you" first in the way that she did?
Did she do it when he was asleep or when?
Yeah, so she watched a scary movie by
Yeah.
herself, and she's like, I'm totally, can you stay on the phone with me?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." They're talking back and forth, and then right as she realizes, I think he fell asleep, he goes, "I love you," and he doesn't say anything, and she goes, "Oh, well, that was pointless. All right, good night."
Was he actually asleep? I can't remember.
Yeah, he was.
Okay. Yeah. That's a big anime trope. Happens in a bunch of animes that I've watched, like 12 episode, like romance animes that don't get a second season. Uh, it's just a big trope, and then like, I mean, it's nice. You know,
But what do you is it always the girl that says it first?
typically, yeah, typically it's the
Okay.
girl that always says it first. In that kind of way when they're sleeping, or it happens typically when the guy's sick, and the girl comes over to take care of them, and they're making like porridge, taking care of their like ice packs and stuff like that, and then when they fall back asleep after like eating, then they usually say it.
Yeah. I I would love I think it would be really cool if they had sort of a mirror moment where he does the same thing.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And that because then now we've established they both like each other.
You
Because
don't
I
think
don't
Joe
think
does?
you
Do
well,
you think he?
has he outright said, "I like you," or "I wanna date you," or "I
I don't.
love you"? I don't think
I don't
so.
think so. No, he just gets
He
flustered
he's
whenever they see
obviously
pretty.
he's obviously because there's hijinks that happen through the season, so we obviously see that he is attracted to her,
Interested.
let's say
Yeah,
that,
attracted, interested, like the Love
he's
Hotel.
interested,
So,
like Love Hotel. Um, I actually that was a funny movie. He's like, "I'm so into photography, I can't believe I asked her to
yeah, can't believe
sit
I'm
on
doing
top."
this.
Yeah. Um, but I don't know if we so he's into her, but, like, feel does he, like, feel for her? That's I mean, that's what I
Yeah,
don't know if it's been established yet. I mean, I think we know it's gonna happen, but I wanna hear him admit it to himself out loud, because then now we can proceed with the idea that, okay, he's into him, he's into her. Now they both need to be not be dumb and realize it for each
yeah,
other.
yeah. I mean, they can't. The way they've set up the first season, they can't do it. I think anytime soon, because there's animes, right, romance animes that start with them as a couple, or like very shortly after, like 2 episodes in. There's animes that drag it out. This is the anime I think that's going to drag it out because it didn't happen in the first season, right?
Mm,
Um, and that's a trope as well, where the guy is like, we live in different worlds. No way I can let myself fall for her because nothing's ever going to come of it. So
yeah. I I have to say though, even if I was telling Tori though, I was like, at his age, even if I was a confident guy with a lot of friends, if I was put in the situations Gojo was in with Kitagawa,
yeah,
I probably would have equally had the same reaction. I would probably
yeah,
probably freaked out just like he did.
for sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Anything
Um,
else? Excited for
No,
season
this
2? You
is,
still watching it?
am I gonna see? Yeah, of course I'm gonna keep watching it.
No, no, I meant like tonight or like right after after this podcast.
Oh, will I? Yeah, I'll probably watch a little bit. I am going to. I'm not gonna watch it ahead because I want you. So I'm invested in the dub, and so
Oh,
like
gotcha. I
I
got you.
definitely, yeah, I don't want to mix streams. I don't want to cross streams between the
I do it
dub
all
and
the
the
time.
sub.
Did it last night with my Dress Up Darling because there's a couple
Yeah.
episodes out that are sub,
I
and I'm
will
like,
say though, unrelated to my dress up darling, another anime I was watching, we've talked about it. I did watch an episode recently where I was like, the sub was better.
what?
It was Solo Leveling.
Oh,
It was an episode from that one, like a really kick-ass episode, and you know the one I'm talking about, the one where Egress is like aura farming throughout the whole
yeah,
dungeon.
like when Egress is fighting Sun Jinwoo, or after he has Egress.
I'm talking about with Alkagon or Tusk.
Oh, a Tusk, yes, yeah, he's
Yeah,
aura
yeah.
farming the
The
entire
fight
time.
with Tusk. So I watched the sub of that first, and I was like, this is obviously now I know there's way more epic fights later on, but at the time I was like, this is an amazing animated fight here. And I watched it sub first, and then later when I finally got to the dub, I liked the sub better.
Yeah, there's a couple
For
ones
that
that like
one
that are good.
episode, because I watched both. I actually watched both again. I was like, that's really weird. So I watched the sub immediately after, and I just like the sub was better. The voice acting in the sub was better. Specifically, the character who played the warlock Tusk, the voice
Oh,
actor for
Tusk,
Tusk.
yeah,
Um, I liked his Japanese counterpart better,
yeah.
and like some of the
I didn't
audio,
watch it,
like
so I
you didn't
can't.
watch it in what?
I didn't watch it in sub, so I can't agree or disagree with you.
Yeah, I thought like and there was some of the like layering the way that the I liked his voice actor in the sub better, and then some of the maybe it's I'm not sure, but the best way I can think of describe it is some of the audio layering, the way that because like the way the sub acting sort of was interwoven into like the background music
Mm,
a lot better, and it felt like it was just this seamless experience. It felt like in the dub they separated that, and I don't know, it just seemed out of place in
yeah,
certain scenes. Yeah, that was at a time where I was like, man, I was like, the sub is better
yeah,
for me.
yeah.
So,
Have we done Chainsaw Man yet?
we did season one of Chainsaw Man. Yes,
That's what I thought.
I
Because
haven't. Yeah,
I remember when me, you, and Kyle were recording a podcast a
I
long
said I
time
was going to
ago.
buy the manga, and then
Yeah,
I have not read it yet. I have it. I just haven't read it.
no, no, because we're talking about Chainsaw Man, and and then I also brought up Soul Leveling. So like, I just remember like that, and like now that you're all in on Soul Leveling, it's just funny to think about that.
We could, yeah, we could talk to Kyle and see if he wants to record a solo leveling episode.
Yeah, yeah, up to you. I was just thinking back on it, and I was like, um, it's great that bringing those up, right? Then you're actually going through and watching it. And I know I gotta get through Soul Eater. I know, trying.
I I am watching Free Ren with Corey right now. Free Ren, so we started over.
Start
We
over.
were at Yeah, so she didn't want to. She goes like, we don't need to rewatch episode one.
Mm,
Um, so we're watching. We're up to episode six now.
nice. So your second
Yeah.
watch of the first couple episodes with your different viewpoint now that you're out of the solo leveling mindset. Um, just real quick. I know we don't got much time, but just real quick. Is it any different viewing it again
It
or
is
same?
different. It is different, and I think it is different watching it with so, 1, I'm watching it second time, so I'm, like, on a second viewing of the first half
Yeah.
of the season. Um, so that's different. So I know what's coming, right? So now, like, little details are a little bit, piecing together better, um, and it's more enjoyable.
Yeah.
And then also, I think watching it with Tori is also making it more enjoyable because now I can, like, see her reaction
Yeah. That's my favorite
to
part
what's
is seeing
happening.
my wife's reaction to anime.
Yeah. Um,
Good.
and
Glad you're
seeing
liking
her,
it
yeah,
this time around.
I am liking it better.
Good.
And
Good.
but you still need to finish Soul Eater, and we need to talk
I
about
know.
Soul Eater.
Will you be okay if I read it? Because the ending's different, I guess, from the manga and the
No,
anime.
I haven't read the manga, so you can watch it.
Can I use ChatGPT to summarize the episodes?
No, you need to watch Soul Eater all the way through. I am watching Free Rent the second time on at least the first half.
Okay.
You can power through Soul Eater.
How many episodes is it? Is it like 60?
Um, Someone like that. You haven't even gotten to Excalibur yet, dude.
So and like if it's 51 episodes, so I can get through it. The funny thing too is like if you look at like any of the like anime rankings like websites, the number one anime that most people put on like those ranking sites or like number one favorite is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and I haven't finished that. I've started that, and it's the same feeling I have with Soul Eater, which is weird because it's almost unanimously across the board of these anime websites, ranking websites. It's Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. It's always 10 out
Yeah.
of 10, and I'm like, I don't know what it is. It's very similar feeling to Soul Eater for me. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. We'll have to watch that one next, and then
Yeah,
I'll tell you if you're wrong.
yeah. You'll probably love it, honestly. Like, there's good moments for sure.
Um, but yeah, so we need to talk about Beastars. You need to watch Beastars. I'd actually rather you watch Beastars first.
I could probably get through B stars.
12 episodes
Yeah, it's fine. I
for the
can
new
do that.
season.
I can do that.
You can do that in the evening. You can do that today in
No, not
between
today.
meetings.
No, I can't do it today. All right, we'll plan on that. Does that sound good?
Yeah, we'll do Beastars.
All right. All right, we'll catch everyone next time when we watch and record B stars.
Bye.